Hi friends, thank you for coming back to my YouTube channel to learn more about how you can become your best you. I'm happy to report that for this video, I've solved the problem of the background noise that was causing the annoying churning in my prior videos. It was the water pump and I couldn't figure out how to turn it off, but I finally did, so this should go smoother and not have that annoying noise in the background. So that's progress, right? I'm also excited to be hosting this video from the art gallery wing of our basement. If you've ever watched me working out on Instagram, you'll see my workout area, which I love. But right adjacent to that, we have this little hallway that serves as a kind of a display gallery for my wife's art that she has for sale. It's a fun thing to have right next to me as I'm working out to see all this beautiful art. And if you're interested, you can go to her website at www.christinachangart.com. In my previous videos, I shared my vision that there are 6 major steps on the journey to becoming your best you. We went over the first 3 in the previous videos, which were gratitude, positivity, and belief. This video is focused on the 4th step, which is setting goals. Now, I'm making this video in early January, so it's a great time to talk about setting goals. Most people are thinking about their New Year's resolutions. And what are resolutions if not goals? Now, my previous video about belief, I talked about the importance of believing in yourself and having the confidence to know that you're capable of achieving great things. Well, as important as that is, just believing it won't actually make it happen. To make your goal actually happen, you need to put in a lot of hard work. And we'll talk about that in a future video. But as you're putting in the hard work, how are you going to know what work to put in? How will you know when to put it in? How will you know whether you're on the right track? And how will you know whether you got to the right point at the end? That's why goals are important. Goals help you to know what work to put in, when to put it in, and whether you're on the right track. Now, when setting goals, it's important to think about the duration of the goals. And I'm a big advocate for setting both short-term, midterm, and long-term goals. I usually like to start with my long-term goals. Think about, where do I want to be in several years? What's the big, audacious goal that I have that I want to get to over time? And then break that down into midterm goals and short-term goals that get me there. I usually think about long-term goals as being over several years, and short-term goals being over months or maybe 1 year, and then midterm goals being somewhere in between. And I'll give you an example of this for my own goal setting, which is I think long-term for my goals. One of the long-term audacious goals that I have is that I want to do a full Ironman triathlon. If I think about doing that today, I think there's no way I can do this. But if I work up to it over a long period of time, I can do this. But it's a long-term goal. It's not something I can do right away. So, okay, if my long-term goal, let's say over the next 3 to 5 years, is to run a full Ironman triathlon, what should my midterm goals be and what should my short-term goals be? Midterm goals would be to start to work up to some of those distances in a full Ironman triathlon, and then being able to demonstrate that I can tackle those distances, and then I can do them in sequentially. First the swim, then the bike, then the run. So I thought about, okay, what should my short-term goal be that gets me on that track? So I decided to set a short-term goal for this year that I'm going to do a half Ironman triathlon, which means I'm doing half the distances of the full Ironman back to back to back. And so I will be registering for a half Ironman this year. And that's my short-term goal that I will do this year. So it's time-bound. It's very measurable. I'm going to sign up for this race and I'm going to run it. And then from there, next year, I'll start to work on those midterm goals. Now, when it comes to setting interim milestones, frequency is important. If you set your interim milestones too frequently, like daily or weekly, it doesn't give you enough time to put in the work and see whether it's paying off. I typically recommend, both in my personal life and at work, that interim milestones be set either every 2 weeks or every month. That has a few benefits. Number one is it gives you enough time to actually do the work go out there and make the things happen that need to happen, and then to see whether it's progressing. It's a long enough period of time that you can see whether or not you actually got better or accomplished specific tasks that you needed to accomplish. But it's not so infrequent that it doesn't give you frequent time opportunities to recalibrate. If you only checked in once in one interim milestone between the start and the end of your short-term goal, and you're not on track, you only have one opportunity to recalibrate. Whereas if you have a few interim checkpoints along the way, you have multiple opportunities to figure out where you're behind, what additional help you need, and then what you're going to do differently to catch up. Now, the key here is with these interim milestones is you need to hold yourself accountable. If you're behind, you need to call yourself out on it and figure out, okay, what am I not doing? Or what do I need to do differently? Or what help do I need? Where do I need to go out and get someone to help me? I need better equipment. I need better training, or whatever will help to get you back on track, and then go out and make that happen. You're not going to get to your short-term goal if you're just like, well, I'm behind. I'll try better over the next 2 weeks. No, figure out specifically what you need to do to get back on track, and then go out and make that thing happen. To make your goals really powerful, I recommend that you express them not as a statement of your intent, what you hope will happen, but as a statement of a commitment, what will happen. The difference between a commitment and a statement of what you hope will happen is very powerful. One is simply what you hope will happen. The other is what you promise will happen. There's a motivational track that I love by a speaker named Inky Johnson. It's called Commitment. I urge you all to listen to it. And he really talks about commitment being, what you're going to hold yourself accountable to doing. You're telling yourself in the world that, yes, this is what I'm going to go out and do. And you're not allowing yourself any escape clauses. And there's plenty of people, if you listen out there, that will add escape clauses to their goals, even subconsciously without even realizing it. They'll say, well, I'd like to do this, or I'll try to do this. And that subtle change of saying, I will do this versus I'll try to do this makes a big impact. Once you insert escape clauses into your goals, it's so much easier for you to give yourself an excuse for not meeting them. Now, I totally understand the temptation, even subconsciously, to add in escape clauses to your goals. Accountability is a scary thing, especially when you're thinking about something that you've never done before, or that might be a big leap from where you are today. And also, as you go about, pursuing your commitment, things can happen that you didn't expect. You can get injured. You can, have a setback at work. You can have things that happen at the company that you're working at. You can have things happen with your health. And all of those can make achieving your commitment very difficult. But when you've committed to getting something done, you're saying, okay, even if something comes up that's an unforeseen challenge, I'm going to find a way to get around it. If I get injured, I'll rehab. If I get sick, I'll work on getting healthy, and then I'll go back after my goal. If I fail, I'll get myself back up again. Just because I fail doesn't mean I give up on my goal. It means I just have to go back and work harder the next time. Plenty of people, including myself, set goals for themselves, fail to achieve them, but then get back up and start working on them again. And that still counts as achieving your goals when you get there eventually. I gave an example in a previous video of Spartan races where I go out and I set the goal that I'm going to have a clean race, which means I'm going to accomplish all the obstacles without failure. And several times I've gone out there with that mentality. I'm lasered in. I'm ready to go out and have a clean race. And then I fail an obstacle. And it's easy to get discouraged and say, I'm just not cut out for this sport. But each time I pick myself back up and I say, okay, that was a setback, but I have this goal. I'm going to achieve it. So I'm just going to have to go back to the drawing board and work harder. So accountability means not that you succeed the first time, but that you succeed eventually, and that you overcome all the challenges and failures and setbacks along the way, and that you don't give up. When you have an escape clause, the I'll try, it's easy to give up, and that's the danger. Now, ultimately, accountability has to come from yourself. You can't expect anybody else to hold you accountable. It has to come from within. The most powerful accountability is one that you impose on yourself. That said, you can definitely use other people to help you with accountability. I'm a big fan of what I call public accountability, which is whatever your goals are, don't keep them to yourself, announce them. Sign up for a race and then publish on your social media or to your friends that you've committed to this race. Tell people what your goals are. Ask people to hold you accountable. You can ask a friend or a loved one or a coach or a boss or someone, a peer, to say, hey, this is my goal. There's going to be times when I'm tempted to give up on it, but don't let me do that. I personally find that signing up for races and then getting a team together to do that race with me is an incredibly powerful form of accountability, because I just brought all these people together to do this race with me. And if I give up, what kind of example am I setting for them? I've got to go through with it now that I've kind of brought other people into this with me. And it really forces me to stay motivated, stay disciplined, make sure I show up and get it done so that I'm setting a good example for all the people that I've kind of brought on this journey with me, and that I'm there to help them be successful as well. I have to be positive. I have to be present. I have to be working towards my goals so that I can help other people do the same. Now, once you've set your goals and you're ready to hold yourself accountable to achieving them, you're ready to move on to step 5 in the journey to be your best you, which we'll discuss in an upcoming video. So watch this channel, that'll be coming soon. And in the meantime, let's continue to support each other. I'd love to support you on your journey, and I'd love your support on mine. You can follow along on Instagram at Sean Hoyt Stay Active, or on my website at www.seanhoytstayactive.com. In the meantime, stay active and be your best you.